This is why he needs to give to you. Now, if you are wanting to know why it's so important that in a relationship, a man is primarily giving to you and you are receiving, we're going to be going deeper into that today. I hope my video isn't choppy here. Hopefully it'll catch up. There we go. And also how to draw him close, how to draw him in through these principles, through polarity teachings that can transform your relationship and really transform your life and your connections with everyone in your life, because you're living as a feminine connected woman. It is the most powerful force in the universe, your feminine energy. Let's dive into that today. So if you don't know me already, my name is Brody Boyd, and for over 20 years, combined with my wife, Antia, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with the man they want. So let's go ahead and dive in today. I'm excited. We have a powerful show for you, and I'm going to be sharing some training, some memes that I found, just like I did in the last show, to show you some of these principles and learn how they actually work. So if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them below while we're going through this training, and I'll be answering those at the end also. So let's start off with this gold nugget I found here, and we'll continue on our journey. So this meme says, even a small criticism can cause a man to become emotionally distant and unavailable. It can invalidate everything he's ever done for you. For a woman, it will kill her ability to be confident, passionate, authentic, and receptive, all qualities that cause men to fall in love and stay in love. So this is speaking to the power of criticism, the negative power, the ability to do damage in your relationship. We unknowingly criticize others in our beingness without even realizing it. Oftentimes, women will make little comments like, "Oh, that's what you think is a good idea," or something sarcastic, or she'll roll her eyes. You know, these are talked about as the four horsemen, actually signaling the death of a relationship. Criticism is one of them, as well as contempt, stonewalling, etc. And it's something to watch out for, because criticism at its essence is actually masculine energy. It's masculine energy because it includes a judgment of some kind, whether your behavior is good or bad. And it also, let me actually hide this for now. It also speaks to you being in the critical position, you being taking a superior position to the other person and saying, like the judge at the top of the courtroom, I think you're guilty. I don't think this was the right move. I think you could do better. And what happens is it destroys a man's sense of purpose in the relationship, really. It destroys his ability to feel like he can be your hero. A man needs to feel that way. He needs to feel that he can give to you in some way, which is the topic of this video, that he can provide for you. If he can't feel that, if he feels that he's failing, he's doing a bad job, he's going to start becoming emotionally distant and unavailable. And this is also, of course, affecting you, like the other part of this meme here, that women are also affected by criticism. If a man is criticizing you, for one, that's different than him gently leading you and helping you to become a better woman, become the best you can be. If he's doing it in a negative sense of trying to tear you down, trying to destroy your sense of ego, if it's coming from a narcissistic or even a sociopathic place of trying to hurt you, trying to do damage, then that, of course, is going to destroy your confidence. It's going to destroy your passion and your feminine core over time. So unhealthy criticism is not healthy by definition in either aspect. So we want to avoid it, and you want to watch out for it. And instead, be lifting up your man in the right moments. Look for things you can appreciate, because those things you appreciate, you amplify. And he starts to live that out more in your life. And if you have problems in the relationship, if you have issues, you want to bring those up. You still want to bring it up and authentically, vulnerably communicate that to him. But we want to avoid doing it in a criticizing or blaming or shaming frame, which will just make him shut down and pull away even further. All right, let's get to the next one here, which says, I'll hide this here. A real man never hurts a woman. Be careful when you make a woman cry, because God counts her tears. The woman came out of a man's rib, not from his feet to be walked on, and not from his head to be superior, but from his side to be equal. We'll talk about that. Under the arm to be protected, and next to the heart to be loved. Now, I love this reframe, because I always wondered about that actually. Why did, in the Bible, why did God take the rib of Adam to create woman? And this makes a lot of sense. There's another quote from the Bible in Ephesians, which is, I'll get the exact quote here. Love your wife as you love yourself. And I'll get this, Ephesians 5:28 through 33. And basically the idea here is if you as a woman, if Eve came from Adam's body, from him, then she's part of him. That's why it also talks about, the Bible talks about in Corinthians, two becoming one, two flesh becoming one. That if you are part of him and he's part of you, then of course he's going to take care of you. He has to love you at least as he loves himself, which is another good point. Does your man love himself? If you're with a man who doesn't love himself, that could become a problem, because how can he give really what he doesn't have? If he doesn't have love of his own beingness, how can he really share that with you? Now, of course, there are men out there that are totally in service, and he may not even like himself or love himself, but he's still the hero. He's still the soldier that wants to protect, that wants to provide. That is possible as well. But you want to watch for and look for men that actually love themselves in a healthy way, in a non-arrogant way, because that means he has more love to provide for you as well, and that he will love you as he loves himself. So that's also where the rib is coming from, that analogy, is because it is close to the heart and it is meant to be protected. The arm is underneath, is above it, to protect, to provide, to be the hero. And equality in the sense of equal value. Like I said, if a man is meant to love you as he loves himself, according to biblical principles, then you are both of equal value in the eyes of God. You equally have the ability to add value to each other, to the world, through your unique gifts. That doesn't mean you're the same. It means you actually are very different. God designed male and female, opposite energies, polarity. He designed them separately, although they are equally valuable. So it's an important point to remember. And this is something I love the phrasing on, because it's a beautiful analogy for what a healthy relationship should look like, where a man is treating you as good or even better as how he treats himself. Let's get to the next one here. Apologize for the nudity here, but this one is something I just had to comment on because it is intense. So this came from I believe a feminist blog of some kind, or a Tumblr account. So let's read it. Gender roles are changing. Females are becoming the providers and protectors, while males are taking on a more subservient, submissive role. Just suck it up. Suck it up, guys. Don't be afraid of this change. Boys, wow. You had your time on top. Now it's time for you to stay home barefoot, waiting for us to come home to you. And when we do, you will drop to your knees, bow your head, and thank us for taking care of you. Now, I want to ask you, just looking at this image and hearing these words, is this something that you want? Is this something that you desire? Do you desire to come home to a man like this, where he's really, literally, like in this image, like a baby you're coming home to put the pacifier in the mouth, to burp him, to feed him, because you had your long day at work, earning the money, earning the bread to bring home to feed your little child. And he's just going to kiss your feet and love on you, and thank the heavens that such a powerful woman came into his life to take care of him in this way. Like, is that what you actually want? And maybe you do. That's okay. There are women out there who are unable to fully connect back to their feminine core, and they just really want to stay in their masculine, either because of fear, trauma, wounding. They do not want to go into the feminine. And that may be where you're at. Now, what I would challenge you with is the idea that every woman has a feminine core and every man has a masculine core. It is the way God designed us. And that the more you're tapped into your feminine core, the more you're actually going to attract men where this is the opposite, where a man is taking care of you. He is cherishing you. He is wanting to provide for you. He's wanting to protect you. He's taking care of things. He's handling business. He's handling the finances. He's handling your home in the sense of getting things fixed, making sure you have everything you need, making sure you're warm and comfortable and secure and safe. rather than you having to do those things and you having to be the soldier and you having to be the man out in the world making things happen, and then and still coming back home and having to be the mommy for him. So to look at that and to just question, is that what you want? Because if that's not what you want, then we want to reverse that. We want to reverse that. Basically, everything in this message, let's take it to the next level. Let's say gender roles are changing. Men are supposed to be the providers and protectors, and while women are taking on a more submissive role. Now, we're talking about healthy submission here, where a man is showing care for your heart and he's leading you out of love. He's leading the relationship forward because he loves you, because he wants you to be happy. He's not dominating. He's not trying to control you because he wants to have power over you and abuse you and take from you. He's controlling, he's leading because he wants you to be happy, because he wants you to be safe, and because he feels good as a man being able to do that. Don't be afraid of this change, women. Okay, so we don't have to go on the rest, but the idea is we're switching it around here. If that's what you want, if you want a man you actually can relax into and have him take care of things, then that's what we want to embrace. Magnetic, feminine polarity here is what we're talking about. All right, let's get to the next one. Now, this is a funny image I found online. I don't know if this is a Halloween costume or what, but this is a guy here. He literally has half of his outfit as a tuxedo, half as a wedding gown. And he's so half broom, half woman. And so this is the image I want you to think of when people say, oh, you need to balance your masculine and feminine energies. You need to have equal masculine, feminine energy within you. Some new age teachings out there talk about this, and modern culture oftentimes talk about this, how we need to be androgynous. We need to be equal. Men should be like women. Women should be like men. We should not have any differences between each of us. We should just be like buddies. Now, this is what I want you to think of when you think of that, and see how attractive is this again. So this is a good gauge to see what's your level of attraction to a man like this, let's say. A man who looks like this. Do you want to get married to him? Do you want to date him? Are you passionately desiring to be with him? Desiring for him to ravish you? Probably not. So now to put the mirror back on yourself, well, if that's not what you want as a woman, what do you think a man wants? Do you think a man also wants this? Do you think a man also wants a woman who's half of her is wearing the pants and half of her is wearing the dress? Probably not. He wants a woman. He wants his bride. He wants his queen. He wants his princess. And if you want to attract a man like that, attract your king, you want to be that. And you want to look for that in a man. You want to be that polar opposite. The feminine, open, receptive queen that you are, high-value woman, you will attract a high-value man who's connected to his masculine, who's fully the husband for you, who's fully embracing that role, who fully wants to be your man, not the androgyny and confusion that can happen when we are trying to instead balance our polarities. Now, of course, I'm not saying that we all don't have masculine parts of us and feminine parts of us. We all do. It's a spectrum of sorts. However, like I said before, every woman has a feminine core deep inside. Every man has a masculine core. And the more connected you are to your core, the better romantic life you will have, the better relationship you will have. So as a woman, the more connected you can be to your feminine core, the more you're going to attract healthy devotion, love, passion from men who want to take care of you. And the more a man is connected deeply to his masculine core, his leadership, his strength, his ability to be the hero, the more he's going to attract feminine women who want to respect him, appreciate him, follow his lead, be there for him, and be his woman, be his queen, his goddess, you might say. Let's say his princess, his goddess, his woman, his queen. So that's the idea of connecting to your core, what we want to embrace to get the results that you actually want. So it's just a good image to remember here. All right, let's go to the next one here. Women, when your husband says he doesn't want anything for Christmas, he's not being hard to shop for. He's being honest. Men buy what they want and need throughout the year. Socks and undershirts really are enough, and it's stuff we need. Christmas is more about you and the children to us. On Christmas morning, We want to watch our wives and kids open presents and getting excited while drinking coffee and a Christmas movie playing in the background. We want to put stuff together and watch you all enjoy it. We have all that we need with you. So it's a beautiful statement. I want you to implant this onto your heart, because so many women who come to us think they need to do something in order to get the man that they want. They think they need to perform in some way. They think they need to give to him in some way. Or so many women out there, usually not women who come to us, but a lot of women who are out there that we hear about are getting scammed by men because of this. They're getting scammed by people who are asking them to send them money. And the women think, oh, if I send him money, he's going to love me. He's going to finally come see me. Or even if it's not a scammer, but just a guy who is in his feminine energy, and the woman thinks, I need to provide for him. I need to give him, take him out to meals. I need to buy him clothes. I need to cook for him. I need to clean for him. And then he'll finally really love me. No. Your feminine core is enough. That's all you have to give. Okay? You don't have to give these things to him. On Christmas or on a birthday or any holiday, really, a man who's connected to his masculine core, he doesn't want you to give him any gifts. You are the gift. If you have children, your children and you are the gift. That's his purpose. That's where he gets his sense of meaning. That's where he gets his sense of value that he has to offer the world, because he's making you happy, not because you're making him happy. He doesn't want you to make him happy. Not a healthy masculine man. He doesn't care about that. His happiness comes from knowing he's making you happy. I want you to get that, because it's so important to throw this old programming, these lies from the enemy, out of your head, that you need to provide for him in some way. You need to perform. You need to do things for him. All you need to give him is your feminine energy, your feminine core, your heart, your vulnerability. That's it. Don't worry about his socks. Don't worry about his shirts. If he asks you to give him those things, that's one thing, because he's in healthy leadership. He's asking you to do something, and if it feels good to you, that's okay, but you still want to watch out for in the relationship if you're giving more to him than he's giving to you. If you are giving more, you need to reverse that, because ultimately that's not what he wants, and that's not serving him. That's enabling him. That's enabling him to be the child while you become the mother, and that's not healthy for polarity. That's not healthy for romance. All right, let's get to the next one here. Most men are not running away. So this is actually a meme that went very viral on our page several times, actually. So I want to go over this. It's pretty important. Most men are not running away from a great woman. They are running away from the parts of themselves that they're unwilling to fix in order to deserve her. So in a lot of cases, men are not running away from you. If they're pulling away, if they're leaving, if they're breaking up with you, oftentimes it's not because of you specifically. It's because he is broken. There's a lot of broken men out there who are not connected to their masculine core, like we talked about, because of wounds, because of trauma, because of bad situations he's had in his relationships, things that have gone sour, and he's unable to do it. And no matter how much you are in your feminine, no matter how amazing of a woman you are, he's not going to be able to give you what you need, because he's not capable of it yet. He may get there someday. And when you use our Magnetic Feminine 90-Day Challenge, that's where we give you the opportunity to really shift things so that he does come to you and he does commit to you. If he still doesn't after that period of time, then he's clearly a broken man and he's not able to be the king for you. And now, so what I'm saying here is it doesn't necessarily mean always that he doesn't like you, that he doesn't love you even. And it may not even mean that you're not in your feminine and that you're not using feminine principles. It could mean he's literally broken and he's not willing to fix it. He's not willing to, or he's unable to. So that's the other thing I would add to this. He's unwilling or unable to fix himself in order to deserve you, quote unquote, in order to make it work, in order to have a healthy, loving, committed relationship. So I want you to avoid taking too much responsibility for relationships. Of course, it's healthy to take on responsibility and look at yourself and say, where am I showing up in my masculine? Where am I showing up from my wounds, from my traumas, and blocking a healthy relationship and blocking the man I want from being able to fully see me, see my heart, and be in his healthy masculine and lead me and take care of me and help me and serve as a hero. So you have to look at that yourself as well. So have the mirror, but also know sometimes it's not you. And oftentimes there are issues that he has to work on, and you can't help him with it. You can't fix it for him. He has to go on his own mission and fix it for himself. First, we turn the lens to you, and ultimately, if he's not able to fix it, you have to walk away. But when you use our 90-day challenge, he often will come around, and if he doesn't, it still doesn't mean he's gone forever. He just has to go do some work on himself. He has to get the therapy himself. He has to get the coaching himself, or read some books, get educated, do some work, some deep inner healing, and then maybe he can deserve you. Maybe then he can serve in the way that you need. But until then, you can't be waiting around and endlessly twiddling your thumbs, hoping that he's going to change when he may not. There's a high possibility he won't. We'll have to see. All right, so here's the next one. All right, so that special moment. So this is an image here of Barbie, and her and Ken are having a special moment, let's say. And she realizes that he's got more feminine energy than her because he's missing his manhood. All right, so I know this is a funny, shocking meme. I was a little shocked when I saw it the first time, but it's funny because oftentimes this is what it feels like as a woman when you finally realize the man you're dealing with, he doesn't have a pair. He doesn't got it. Like I said in the last section here, he may be broken. He's not able to be in his healthy masculine, and sometimes you don't know that until later, until you've actually spent some time with this man. That's again why we have our 90-day challenge, because you have to give it some time. You can't expect things to shift overnight and expect him to all of a sudden be in his healthy masculine and reveal all of who he is to you overnight. You have to look to his actions. You have to see over time what kind of man you're actually dealing with, especially when you're in your feminine, when you're being quote unquote Barbie, when you are, the ideal woman, we'll say, to a man, and you're in your feminine. And that's over a period of time, and you're doing all the things we teach you using magnetic feminine communication. You're not criticizing him. You're not trying to control him. You're not energetically penetrating him or giving to him. Instead, you're being vulnerable, respectful, appreciative, open, authentic, connected to your heart. Now we have to see what kind of man he is, because if he's still not giving it to you, so to speak, then he's in his feminine. He's connected to his feminine more than he is to his masculine. That's a problem because he's broken. Likely. And you need to come to terms with that. Sometimes you need to look at right clear as day, look it in your face and see it for what it is, that he's not able to be the man for you. He doesn't have what it takes. Sometimes you just have to realize that and accept it so that you can move on, so you can be free. Now, it doesn't mean again that he can't grow a pair, that he can't shift, but that's a tricky battle there in that waiting period. And I would highly recommend getting some support with that, some coaching support, join our coaching groups, because you need to navigate that. You need help navigating that to get your man on track, to get him back to his masculine core so that he can lead, so that he can invest into you, so that he can be exactly who you need to be, your perfect, let's say, Ken. I would call him King Ken. Let's say King Ken, to serve and to protect and be the guider of the realm in your life, the leader of the family, the leader of the relationship for you, and showing up fully in his healthy masculine energy. All right, let's get to the next one. My ex has taught me that no matter how good of a woman you are, you'll never be good enough for a guy who isn't ready to be a man. So no matter how good of a woman you are, again, this is the same theme. So I've said this in several different ways now. Remember, the theme of this video is a man needs this to give to you. What does he need? He needs to be connected to his masculine core. And he needs to be able to give to you from his masculine core. He needs to be able to serve you. And if he can't, if he's not able to, then he's not ready to be a man. He's not ready for that role. And you have to come to terms with that sometimes. Sometimes it's harsh. But the other key with this, remember I mentioned this earlier too, you have to put the mirror on yourself as well and look at, well, if he's not ready to be a man, are you actually also showing up as a woman? Fully connected to your feminine core, fully connected to your feminine polarity, feminine communication. Are you using what we teach you here? If you're not, then it may actually be a you issue. And that's possible as well. It could be a him issue, but it could also be a you issue. It could also be both of you. Both of you are disconnected to your feminine or your masculine, and that's going to cause issues. So what we also teach, and that's the beauty of the law of polarity, if you want to shift your relationship, opposite energies attract, which means we only need to change one of you. If we can shift you more into your healthy feminine through the law of polarity, He's either going to step up into that because he's pulled into it, he's inspired into his healthy masculine, or he's going to be gone because he's broken. And if he doesn't step up, or if he just stays here, if he doesn't leave, but he's also not stepping up, then you have to leave. You have to leave because you're not actually being a queen if you continue to stay in a situation that doesn't serve you over time. If you're in the queendom and you're not being treated by a queen, let's say you're a queen and walking around your queendom, but everybody's treating you like dirt. They're throwing dirt at you. They're throwing trash at you, and they're talking rudely to you, and they're not showing you care and love. Then you're not in your queendom. That's not the right queendom for you, is it? You have to get out of that queendom. You have to find your new queendom, find your new castle with your new king inside of it, if you're not being treated like the queen in your own land. So it's something to realize, like, are you in the queendom where you're being really loved and adored right now? Or are you in the queendom where you're being treated like dirt? We have to look out for that, because if that's true, then you need to leave after a period of time. Let's see, let's give them a chance. Maybe they didn't realize you were the queen. Maybe they thought you were a commoner. Okay, well, maybe you got to put that crown back on your head, get dressed up as the queen, walk around now. And if they're still treating you like dirt after you're clearly being the queen in your life, in your relationship, well, now that's a they problem. That's a them problem, and they need to go, or you need to go. You got to get out of that situation. It's not working because they're broken. Maybe they're blind. You know, the blind, they cannot see the light. They cannot see the truth. And that's not your job to show them that. They have to find the truth on their own. They have to see your value, or else you're out. You're not going to try to fix them and coach them through it to get to that point. They have to see it on their own. Hopefully they will, because your light is going to shine so bright with what we teach you that it's unavoidable. They have to see your light at some point. He has to at least witness it. And then either he's got to step up or step out. But he has to see the light first. He has to see the light shining from you. And then even if he's blind, he's just going to feel the heat. He's going to feel the warmth of your feminine core. He's going to say, wow, I didn't even know I was with such a magnificent woman. Shoot, I don't want to lose her. I got to step up here. I got to get myself to see again. I got to see her clearly for who she is. She is valuable, and I can't lose a woman like that from my life. All right, so we got one other video here. I showed one last week from Charlie. This is another great video I found of him, because it's popping up on all my feeds right now, because he had so much wisdom as a man. So let's listen to this right now, and I'll let you know what I think about it.
And a dime on video games or sports games or things for yourself until your wife does not have to worry about finances. You come last in the family when it comes to finances, period. That is your job. Your wife gets whatever she wants, The kids get whatever they want. And I hear all the time, like, well, it's really hard to meet ends meet. Like, let's go get a beer. I'm like, you have no reason actually to do that. Like, you are tasked with the provider. Oh, what you want all the benefits of being called the head of the household, but none of the responsibilities or the obligations. And it comes with a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah, this is great. So the idea here is that a connected masculine man, again, he's the provider. He's your hero. He's your protector. And that's his job. He has to sacrifice himself in a way. Like, his needs do come last in a relationship, because that's what he actually wants, a healthily connected man. If he's not broken, and what happens is you inspire him to be a healthy man. When you allow him to take that role and encourage him to take that role through feminine communication, he actually gets more joy and happiness out of putting himself, quote unquote, last, we'll say, not because he's a people pleaser or a nice guy. He loves you, he cares about you, and it makes him happy. It makes him happy to know that you're happy. He wants to step up. He wants to provide. He wants to give you all the desires of your heart. And so that's actually going to make him happier long-term than you continuing to do things for him and allowing him to, allowing yourself to pay for the date, or to split things, or to cover this and to cover that. Now, that's the idea. This is really a strong message for men, actually, that they need to step up, basically. Like, you should not be playing video games. You should not be getting a beer with your buddies if you're not even able to pay the bills right now. If you're not able to take care of your kids in the way you want to. Like, dude, what are you doing? That comes last. You have to step up first. And that's the kind of man that you want. That's the kind of man you want in your life, where he feels, if my woman isn't happy, if I'm not able to provide for her in the way that she needs and deserves, everything is coming secondary now. Like, I have to step it up. I have to set aside my desires in a way to want to check out. And I have to step up to be that man that I know that I want to be. I want to be this kind of man. I know I need to be this kind of man. So I'm going to do that because I care about her enough. I love her heart so much that I got to do this. I got to do this for both of us. And really, that's for me and for her. And that's healthy leadership. And so what you can do as a woman as well is be the mirror for that also. So let's see what he said again in the last part. I'm going to play the last part one more time. Maybe this.
Spend it me, like, let's go get a beer. I'm like, you have no reason actually to do that. Like, you are tasked with the provider. Oh, what you want all the benefits of being called the head of the household, but none of the responsibilities or the obligation.
That's what I wanted to talk about here is wanting the benefits without the responsibilities, right? And this goes both ways. So a lot of men out there, they're what you might call a man-child, where they want all the benefits of being the man, of having you take care of him sexually, emotionally, physically, different ways around the house, cooking for him, etc. But yet he doesn't want to take on the man responsibilities of fixing things, helping you, leading, protecting, being willing to die for you. If somebody confronts you on the street with a knife, is he willing to throw himself in front of the killer? Is he willing to sacrifice his life, the ultimate masculine responsibility, to be willing to die for those he loves? That's his ultimate responsibility. If he's not willing to take that on, what is he doing here? What is he doing here? Why is he in your life? He's not giving anything back. And now the reverse of it is also true. Where are you potentially showing up? Where you want all the benefits of being taken care of, being appreciative. You want all the benefits of being taken care of, being protected, having a man do things for you, having him lead, having him pay for everything. But then you're not taking on the feminine responsibilities of being connected to your feminine core, of being appreciative, of being open, of letting him lead, of letting him make the important decisions. Without, within reason, you still share your feelings about things. You have a discussion about it. And if he's making bad decisions, of course, that's not okay. And you have conversations about that using magnetic feminine communication. But are you taking on your feminine obligations, we might say, of allowing him to be the man and seeing him for the man and honoring him as the man? And that's the biggest thing. Like I said, really, you don't have to do anything for a man. You don't have to give anything to him, but you do need to be connected to your feminine. You need to be in your feminine polarity and use magnetic feminine communication, being vulnerable, being respectful, following his lead, being open and receptive, letting him give to you, sharing your feelings, sharing your heart, spending time with him, being his helpmate. Like, those are your responsibilities as his woman. Following biblical principles, ideally, living traditionally. Like, that may be what your man wants for him and what he needs in order for him to take on his, let's say, traditional responsibilities to lead, to provide, to invest into you, to cherish you. So we want to look at polarity from that lens of two angles, right? The mirror effect. And it's not about being equal to him and saying, oh, if I want a man who leads, then I also have to be a leader. No, it's saying, how can you be the complementary opposite to him? If you want a masculine man, how could you be the complementary opposite, the feminine woman? If you want a man who leads, how can you be a woman who follows well, just like in a dance, who knows how to be receptive to his leadership, who respects his leadership, who trusts his leadership, who appreciates his leadership when he's doing a good job? Of course, if he's not doing a good job, that's another conversation. Like I said, that's where the 90-day challenge comes into play. So very, very powerful principles. Hope that was helpful. And before we get to our questions here for today, I also want to remind you, if you haven't yet, you want to master these principles and really get the relationship you want with a man fast, make sure to take our free quiz by clicking the link in the description or comments below or in our bio, or you can also go to our website, magnetizeyourman.com, to get that. So let's go ahead and answer some questions that have come in here. All right. It looks like we may have, okay, no, that's the first one. All right, so Kendall said, I appreciate masculine energy. However, it's challenging finding it anymore. Yeah, so it is becoming rare. So I will agree with this image we saw before. Gender roles are changing. They have changed to a lot extent, a big extent. And it's becoming more rare to find men who are deeply connected to their masculine, as well as it's becoming more rare to find women who are deeply connected to their feminine. So it goes both ways because our culture has shifted, because society has been programmed through different waves of political movements like feminism, like MGTOW, like the economy shifting and women's rights and so many different things that shifted how men and women show up in the workplace, how we interact in the professional level, laws that have been passed, and things have changed. It's becoming harder and harder to find men who are programmed and connected to their healthy masculine because a lot of them are being told that that's bad, that they shouldn't do that it's toxic masculinity. And that also, or they will get Me Too'd. They will be falsely accused potentially of sexual harassment or abuse of some kind, when maybe all they were doing was approaching a woman asking for her phone number. Maybe it was at the workplace and now he's getting fired for that. And yes, there are men, of course, that will cross the boundaries and do things that are abusive or bad. I hope my video's not too choppy here. I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, a lot of men who are good guys, who are normal, healthy guys, are afraid to connect to their masculine. And they're being taught that from their childhood, that men are bad. Men are the patriarchy. You don't want to be part of the evil patriarchy, do you? You should be like this guy. You should be half woman and half man. Or maybe just all woman. Why don't you just put on a dress and wear it all the time? Because we don't want your kind around here. We don't want men to be men around here. We want men to be like women. That's much safer for us. That's nicer for us. We relate to you more. So there's a lot of reasons for why this is happening, of course, we can go into, and I just mentioned on some of those. But yeah, it is getting harder to find these kind of men. And also it's getting harder for men to find these kind of women, to find women who are connected to their feminine core. But when you find one, let's take it from your perspective first. I don't know why it's so choppy here. When you do find a masculine man, that's probably very attractive to you. A healthy masculine man who's leading, who is confident in himself, who's strong, who knows what he wants, who's able to claim what he wants in a healthy way, and who has goals in his life, who has a purpose, who has a mission, who wants to take care of the people he loves, who wants to be the hero for them, who wants to solve problems and fix things and be there for the ones he cares about. So it's very attractive to you when you meet that kind of man, if you're connected to your feminine in any way. And you notice it. It stands out. These men probably linger in your mind. Maybe you've had men like this that you've dated in the past that it's hard to get over because you're like, that man really had something, and it's hard to find it. They call them alpha widows sometimes, when a woman dates a man who is fully connected to his masculine, and then after that, she's constantly looking for that again. Where can I find a guy like this again? They're so rare, it feels like. Now, let's flip the mirror again back on yourself. Well, men have the same experience. Men have a hard time finding feminine women. And so when they meet one, even if they're not that masculine of a man, when they meet a feminine woman who's radiant, who's open, who's vulnerable, who's available, they're like, wow, this is special. This is different. Like, I would love to have that kind of woman in my life. I would love to get married to a woman like that. Unfortunately, a lot of those guys tell themselves that she's out of my league. Or like the women will tell themselves when they meet a man like that, he's out of my league. And so that's where it goes down to inner programming as well, where we have to also shift your inner programming, your beliefs about yourself and what you deserve and what you can have in your life, that you can have a masculine man who takes care of you, who cherishes you, and that's totally possible. And not only possible, but it's doable, and it's a beautiful desire. You know, God designed you to have desires in your heart. And if he designed you to have those desires, that means he's also capable of fulfilling those desires. So that's the key, Candy, is if you want to attract masculine energy, you have to be feminine energy. The polar opposite. Through the law of polarity, you will attract more masculine men into your life. And then it's just a question of getting out there. You have this golden light inside of yourself, the shining light that'll start to come out more and more, especially when you stay in our world and use and practice the things we're talking about here. You will attract masculine men into your world, and they will want to take care of you. They will want to cherish you. They will want to step up and lead. And then it'll be easy, because that's what my vision is for you. What if your dating and relationships could be simple, fun, and easy rather than complicated, challenging, and messy? Simple, fun, and easy. That's what happens when you are being the queen and you're deeply connected to your feminine core. All right. And so Kaniel said, LOL, you must live in California. So much of the image here. Yes, I'll just play it again. California, here we come, right back where I started from. And all the men dressed half in pants, half in dresses. Yeah, so no, we hopefully want to start reversing this trend and finding the core masculine that is existing in the world and encouraging it and appreciating it. And then men as well to start appreciating and seeking the core feminine, and that it's beautiful, and that's what we want. We want feminine women. We want women to be radiant. We want to protect them. We want to make them feel happy. We want them to shine and to be able to relax and feel safe and feel pleasured because they're in our presence. Like, that's what masculine men around the world should be encouraging. Just like you who now have these insights and have these tools should be encouraging that in the men in your world as well, and in your immediate culture, so that we can turn California or all places in the world ideally back into a healthy balance of the healthy masculine, the healthy feminine, where now we can reduce the 50% divorce rate and all the other problems that we have in our society right now, where people aren't even getting into relationships anymore at all, and everybody's single and everybody's miserable and just tuning out, and instead just pretending to have some kind of shadow of a relationship on social media or through video games or through movies or books or fantasy land. And so we want to reverse that and go back to healthy, happy, loving, devoted relationships in our world. And it's totally possible. So let's do it. If you're with me, say aye. All right, so now let's get to the next question here. Robin said, I want a real man, not this crap. 100% agree. Yes, we want a real man who never hurts a woman, who is careful and doesn't want to make you cry, and who loves you, who protects you, who sees you as equally valuable, and who wants to be the head, not because he's superior, but because he wants to lead, because he wants to take that off your shoulders. He wants to drive the car forward. He wants to plan the date. He wants to plan your life together and make it happen. Make your dreams a reality. That's the kind of man I imagine you're talking about here, Robin, that every woman wants deep down. A man like that who can live for you in that way. And that's totally possible when you become the polar opposite to that, like we're teaching you here. Glad you agree with that, Robin. And let's see. So Lori said, that's right. A lot of broken men out there. So true. So true, unfortunately. So just got to be aware of that. And recognize it when it comes into your world and say, that's not for me. That's not what I want. I'm a queen here. I'm a high value woman. My standard is a man takes care of me. And that's what I know I deserve, because I'm feminine, because I'm connected to my feminine. I'm taking that responsibility on. And so that's my standard now. I'm going to be the woman. And for me to be a real woman means I deserve a real man. Now, of course, you may have some self-reporting bias. So we got to get some coaching and make sure you're actually showing up in your feminine, not just believing you're in your feminine and believing you have everything put together and you're fully connected to your core, when you're actually showing up still in your masculine in ways that you don't even understand. So we want to avoid that. But if you're authentically connected to your feminine, then that is 100% what you deserve and 100% what you will attract quickly, because you are the polar opposite. And that's a law of the universe, the law of polarity. Opposite energies attract one another. All right. So, and yeah, there's a lot of broken men out there, and women too, like Nadia said. It's very true, unfortunately. So we want to heal some of this. We want to heal the brokenness, and let's get back to full health and full integration as human beings. And Angela said, I really need to hear this. Glad, Angela. All right, we got another question here from Julianne. She said, I'm trying to unlearn a lot of my masculinity. By the way, if you have any other questions or comments, post them now. We're going to wrap up pretty soon, but if you have any other final questions or comments, you can go ahead and post them in before, if we still have some time after this question. So Julianne said, I'm trying to unlearn a lot of my masculinity. I've been single for so long and been paying my own bills, mowing my grass, etc. It feels strange having a man help without feeling I owe them something. Yeah. So that's just old programming, Julianne. It's just old programming. It's wounding from childhood oftentimes, where you got the message growing up potentially that you needed to earn love in some way. Did you get that message? That love needs to be earned, that you have to do something in order to deserve it. You have to perform in some way, or you have to put on a mask, or you have to be the good girl, the nice girl, the perfect girl. That's actually not feminine energy, by the way. If you're trying to be too perfect or too nice, you're performing. Performing is masculine. Feminine energy is authentic. Feminine energy is vulnerable. It's sometimes messy also. It's just like nature. If you go out in nature, that's pure feminine energy. If you go out in the woods, what's out in the woods? Well, there's dirt, there's trees, there's broken trees, there's animals, there's chaos in a lot of ways. You go to the ocean is always moving, it's always changing. So feminine energy isn't perfect, but it is imperfectly perfect because it's changing, because it's beautiful. We go out in nature and we're in awe. It's not because it's perfect, not because nature is like, oh, this was perfectly designed, there's no flaws. It's because it's beautiful the way it is. It's beautiful because it's chaotic in a way. It's beautiful because it has depth, because it's real. It's something we can actually touch. So your feminine core is like nature. It is the universe. It is something we can touch. We as men want to feel it. We want to dive into it because it's like diving into the ocean. We get to go on a beautiful swim and enjoy the pleasure and enjoy the crystal clear waters and lay on the beach for a little while. And that's much more enjoyable to a man often than just sitting in a cubicle, right? Sitting in a cubicle, that's masculine energy. That's where a man lives most of his life. Men are single focused, we're structure based, we're more logical, and we're more reason oriented rather than feeling oriented. So when a man is out of his cubicle and out in nature, out at the beach, out in the tropical world that is you, that is chaos, that is the changing realm, the range of your emotions, the rainbow of your emotions, he's out of the black and white and he's into full color. And that's what he wants. He wants to feel connected to that. And in order to feel connected to that, you have to connect to that part inside of yourself, which means connecting to your body more, connecting to your heart more, connecting to your feelings, your vulnerability, your authenticity before there was any wounding, before there was the wounding from your childhood that told you you have to perform, that you have to be more masculine, you have to be perfect, or that you have to serve, you have to give to the man. You're a modern female. You're a feminist, high-powered, individual, independent woman. You don't need no man. You shouldn't rely on a man. Why would you do that? You're strong. You're capable. Put the armor on. Go out and earn it for yourself. It's a dog-eat-dog world. That's okay. You're a strong woman. You can handle it. That's the message we're often given. Well, what if that's not true? What if it's not meant to be like that? Yes, you can do those things. You can put on the armor. You can go fight the battles of the world. But why would you want to? Why would you want to when you have a man who can do that for you? And not only can he do it for you, he wants to do it. He gets a sense of purpose from doing it. And you don't have to give anything back to him for that because he's getting what he needs. So that's the big breakthrough here, Julianne, that I want you to get. You actually are giving to him. You may owe him something, you say. Well, what do you owe him? Your feminine heart. That's what you owe him. You don't owe him money. You don't owe him, now he scratched your back, now you have to scratch his. You have to give him some gift of some kind, or you have to give him your body even. It's not about your body. You don't have to give him sex because he bought you dinner. He wants your heart. He wants your heart. He wants your vulnerability. He wants your feminine essence. His masculine core wants that. And remember, every man has a masculine core. It's just about how connected he is to that. You may be dealing with a broken man. That's of course true. You may be dealing with a feminine man. He's not connected to his masculine core, and he may not see your feminine energy. He may not want your feminine energy because he actually was looking for a mommy. That's true, and that's why we have the 90-day challenge. You have to give a guy some time to see who you're dealing with and give him a chance to realize, oh, this is a feminine woman. I should be more masculine for her. This is a queen. I should be more of a king for her. He may need to get some training a little bit. He may need to get used to the water, right? He's dived in the water. He may have to adjust a little bit. Like, oh, wow, this is actually warmer than I thought. Just like when you get in a hot tub, it's a little hot at first, but then you get used to it. So he might have to get used to you, to dealing with a feminine, queenly, high-value woman. And then he gets it. And now he gets it. Oh, this actually feels good to me. This is all I want to do. Like, I want to pay for you. I want to please you. I want to make you happy. I want to meet your needs. I want to be the hero for you. I want to solve your problems. Baby, I want to give you everything that your heart desires, because that gives me all the desires of my heart. That's all I need. So that's what he's going to say to you, right? That's what it'll feel like for you. And you don't have to reciprocate that other than your feminine core. That's the only gift you really need to give. That's what you owe him. So that's hopefully a distinction that'll help you if you're having some hard times getting over this idea of owing him. Like, okay, let's say, sure, you still owe him, but not the way you thought you owed him. You owe him your feminine energy. That's what you owe him, because you're showing him respect. You're showing him appreciation. You're sharing your heart with him, your openness, your vulnerability, your receptivity. And now he feels great, and he becomes more connected to his masculine, and he's like, wow, this is more than I ever could have thought that I needed. Just like this quote we talked about earlier. Like, ultimately what he wants during Christmas or any other time, oops, let me hide this here, is he wants to feel that everyone is good, that everybody is happy. He's a good man. He's a hero. He has some value to offer to the world in your family. That's enough. Now he feels complete. Now he feels like his life has meaning. His life has purpose. Not because he's getting a bunch of gifts, not because you're giving him everything that you think you need to give to him in order to deserve his love. No, he wants to earn your love. He wants to deserve your love. That's what makes him happy, that he's man enough to get that he's man enough to earn you, your heart. That's what he wants to earn. So hopefully that helps, Julianne, and that it sinks a little deeper today. And she said, oh my God, 100% spot on. Yes, glad that helps, Julianne. And then we have another question here from Sherry. She said, I'm feeling the same as Julianne. I always feel like I at least pay every other time at a restaurant or pay him back for every little thing. We don't live together as well as we're not married yet, but I do all the mowing, etc. I even cut firewood for years. Oh no. Could it get more masculine? And there's no judgment here, Sherry. It's good awareness. I mean, like, yes, this is good. This is like, become aware of all these ways that you were giving, you were in your masculine, because now we know why this likely didn't work out. You felt like a lumberjack. How sexy is that? Does a man want to go home to a lumberjack? Does he want to lay down in bed with a lumberjack? Or does he want to come home to his princess, his queen, his beautiful, magnificent, luscious female? That's what he wants to come home to. So, and again, this might have not been any fault of your own. You might have been dating a feminine, broken man, and he wanted you to do all these things, and he felt good being the child, and you were the provider, you were the mommy, and you were the man, and he was the woman, etc. And now it's just realizing those dynamics and realizing, well, is that what you actually want now? Now that you have the idea, you have the realization, is that what you want to continue? Likely the answer is no. You have awareness. That's the first part of change. Now you have the awareness, you can do something about it. And it starts by actually stopping. It starts by stopping. If you want to attract a man in your feminine, you actually have to stop more than you have to start. You have to stop being in your masculine. You have to stop trying to control him. You have to stop trying to lead him. You have to stop telling him what to do. You have to stop treating him like a child. You have to stop nagging him. You have to stop blaming him. You have to stop shaming him. All these things you stop, all of a sudden, what's left? Well, what's left is feminine energy. Feminine energy is openness. You don't really have to do anything to be in your feminine. Feminine is about being. It's not about doing. Masculine energy is about doing. Masculine energy is about chopping wood, carrying water, and chopping the wood. And feminine energy is about receiving the wood, you might say, enjoying it, letting him bring it to you, letting him be the lumberjack in the bedroom, in the house, we might say. How much sexier would that be? So to realize polarity principles, they are sexual at their core, because a lot of these principles also derive from sex and how our bodies are different, men and women, and how the masculine is penetrating, the feminine is receiving, right? So penetrating is giving, receiving is receiving. So if you're giving, you're penetrating him, that's a man. you are wearing the pants. So just to become aware of it, so if you can get that polarity back, you can reverse this and you can have a healthy, loving, committed relationship that's polarized, that's passionate, that has juice, that has fire. The wood is on fire in your house. It's lit up in the fireplace, just like in those amazing romance novels where the hero and the heroine are stuck in the cabin because the snow has snowed them in. And what are they left to do? Well, I guess they're left to just enjoy each other in front of the fireplace. That's what it's like. So that's the passion of polarity. And you want to feel feminine. So that's great, Sherry. And I love your photo, by the way. You got those flowers in there. You got some, I think there's some hearts maybe. So you're already doing it. You're on the path, Sherry. Just continue the path. It's worth it, right? A journey of 1,000 steps, the journey of 1,000 miles, as we know, begins with a single feminine step with your glass slippers on. A single feminine step in the right direction. And that's all you have to do is just keep going in the right direction. Just keep following your feminine core. It'll guide you. It'll lead you, and you will find that true happiness that you're looking for. All right, great question. Angela said, I lost my feminine after I found him cheating on me for 17 years. Sex addiction, so true when you said he doesn't love himself. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that, Angela. And the way I look at it is, for one, there's no failure. There's no lost years. Yes, it was 17 years of your life, we could say, you may not get back. Although what you get instead is you get yourself. You get yourself back. As long as you get the lesson, there's really no failure. You have the opportunity now to connect to your feminine core and realize the things that may have happened that led you to be in a relationship with that kind of man, or that may have led to a dynamic that was unhealthy. You know, cheating is never excusable. And sex addiction, addictive patterns in general is a sign of a broken man. It's a sign of a man who's not connected to his masculine energy. Because what is masculine energy? Masculine energy is up here. Masculine energy is about direction. It is about decision making. It is about having a plan and following through with the plan, regardless of how you feel. Feminine energy is about following the cravings of the flesh. What do I want to do? What feels good? What are my emotions drawn to? And that's actually unhealthy feminine energy. And we may call that a shadow feminine energy, is addictive patterns, right? Where you're just completely losing yourself to your desires above all else, and unhealthy things. So we want to avoid that. But a man who's caught in addictive patterns, he's in his feminine energy. And he's broken in a way. There's something inside of him that's broken, that's causing him to seek these addictions and not be the hero, not be the warrior. So to realize what may also have been broken inside of yourself that caused you to attract a broken man. It's just, we're not saying it was your responsibility. Remember, we were saying most men out there, there's a lot of broken men, but we also want to look at, was there any brokenness inside of you as well? Was there any addictive patterns inside of you? Or was there an enabling patterns where you enabled his addictions, or you encouraged them in some way, or you made excuses for them, or didn't say anything about it? You didn't speak up. You didn't share your heart. So there may be those things too. We just want to look at it because we want to avoid this happening again. We want to be connected to your feminine. We want to follow this path. We want to heal your inner heart and heal the wounds that may be there so that you can be who you want to be to attract the kind of man you want and have an incredible life moving forward. Let the rest of your life be the best of your life. That's what we want. So, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Angela. And yeah, it's also a sign that he may not have loved himself. That's another big factor of a broken man, that he has no regard for his own life, his own health, his own happiness. And because of that, he's not able to be the man for you. Just like they say in the airplanes, put your mask on first. If you don't put your mask on first, you can't help anyone else. Well, is your man also prioritizing himself in that way? Like, yeah, ultimately he wants to make you happy. He's living in service. He wants to make the world around him better. His woman, his family, his kingdom, his community, his country. That's what he ultimately wants to do. But he's also got to take care of himself in order to do that. Like, is he taking care of his own health? Is he watching what he's eating, what he's putting into his body, his habits? Are they doing damage to himself? Because likely if they're doing damage to himself, they're going to do damage to others, the ones he cares about. So he also has to be connected in that sense. And if he's not doing these things, that's when magnetic feminine communication comes into play, where you can speak up to him about your feelings around all of this and allow him to understand the impact without feeling judged, without feeling blamed or shamed or controlled or criticized. But because he feels your feminine vulnerability, he feels the weight of it, of your sadness or of your anxiety or of your fear, simply by saying something to him like, I feel sad and I don't know what to do, or I feel scared and I don't know what to do, or the whole going through the whole formula and sharing, asking for permission. Can I share something with you? Can I share a feeling that I'm having with you? And then sharing your feelings and asking for help. That's what a feminine woman would do. That's what a queenly woman would do. She wouldn't let these things slide when they're coming up in the relationship. The first signs, because oftentimes there is signs. There are things, if you're connected to your feminine core, you have a strong intuition and you can see things, you can pick up things that just don't feel right. And for you to be able to speak up about those things in the right way, in a respectful way, in a vulnerable way, lets him know, oh, I'm dealing with a queen here. And I don't want her to feel sad. I don't want her to feel afraid. I don't want her to feel anxious. I want to help her with that because I want to, not because she told me to, not because she's making me, not because she's banging me over the head and yelling at me every day and nagging me, but because I feel her vulnerability and I feel like I'm screwing up and I want to change myself. I want to change for myself because I don't want to be that kind of man. I want to make my woman happy. So that's what you will awaken in him. And thanks for sharing that, Angela. And again, sorry that happened through you, for you. Happened to you, I'll say, but maybe it was for you. You know, these can all be gifts and they can be utilized in the right way as long as we use it, as long as we get the wisdom. It was for you rather than to you. All right. Yeah, Julianne said we have to unlearn this crap. Yeah, totally. It's a lot of unlearning. It's a lot of letting go is the process of healing and connecting to your feminine. Night Rider said, my boyfriend paid for dinner, so it is my time to pay. He paid for other stuff, and so did I. We love being together in our relationship. Well, I would really look at that, Night Rider, that belief that you have, that because he paid, now you have to pay. It's your turn now, because now you just have this egalitarian back and forth. He scratches your back, you scratch his back. He scratches your back, you scratch your back. What else? What other relationships are like that? Friendships are like that. Friendships are, we help each other. I help him, he helps me. She helps me, I help her. I scratch her back, she scratches mine. And those are nice. We love friendships, and you should have a friendship with your man. But we also want more than friendship, right? You want to have more than just a buddy situation. Oh, I'll pay this time, you pay next time. I'll do this, you do that. You want to have passion. You want to have polarity, ultimately, I would imagine. And you also want the relationship to last, because if there's no passion and polarity, what generally happens is people fall out of love with each other. People fall out of attraction for each other. And then there's nothing left to bind them because there's no juice left in the relationship. They're just friends, and that's okay. We could still be friends, but you're not really lovers. And you may even still be having sex, but that doesn't necessarily mean, if you are having sex in that relationship, which I wouldn't recommend until a man has really claimed you, which may be in the case of a committed exclusive relationship, but it's even better when he's put a ring on it and he's married you. Much better. But yeah, anyways, so if you want passion, if you want deep chemistry and devotion long term, we want to have some polarity, which means taking an overall look at the relationship. Who's giving more? Is it equal? Is it like we're just buddies, equal? I'm giving as much to him as he's giving to me? Or is he being the man? Is he leading? Is he taking charge? Is he in his masculine? Is he giving more to you and you're receiving more from him? Not because you have to, now not saying it's unequal where he's like giving and you don't give anything back. Because again, you are giving back through your feminine energy, through respecting him, trusting him, not being in your masculine. Again, a lot of it is just not being in your masculine. But there's other things you can do through appreciation, respect, trust, letting him lead, sharing your feelings, being vulnerable, letting him into your heart, letting him feel your heart. So authenticity in that way. So that's really all you have to give to him. And then you'll have deep, devoted passion and love. Now, I'm glad it sounds like things are going well so far. I would just highly recommend looking into that because we want to make sure it continues. And that I also want you to question those beliefs that you have to pay, that it's your turn now. You have to switch it. Because this is also a slippery slope. And I've seen in these situations where you scratch your back, I scratch my back, or I scratch your back, you scratch my back. often what will happen is eventually it starts eroding to where now you're actually doing more for him than he's doing for you. He starts to relax a little bit more. He starts to stop putting as much effort into the relationship, which I imagine there's probably some issues going on, or else you probably wouldn't be watching this video. There's probably something there that you're like, oh, I'm a little nervous about this. I don't feel fully like a priority yet, or I don't feel like he's fully committing yet, or maybe you've been dating for a while and he hasn't even talked about the future or any kind of movement towards a deeper level of commitment. Then that's a slippery slope, right? You can be buddies for a while and that may work for a while, but then what I've seen is typically the man will start to lose a devotion and attraction, and he'll start stepping out, because ultimately if a man is connected to his masculine core and if he's not deeply broken, and over time what a man really wants anyways is he wants to be able to be the hero. He wants to be able to find a situation where he can invest, where he can feel like he can lead, where he can feel like his life has a deep meaning and purpose through you and through his work and through his community, that he's giving, that he's of value. Just like a soldier on the battlefield, the soldier makes the ultimate sacrifice, right? The soldier is sacrificing his life. Well, if he really cares for you, he has a bit of that in him as well. He's willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for you. He wants to be able to do that, because then that means his life had meaning, his life had purpose, that he lived for something greater than himself. And if you deprive him of that by always going 50-50 on everything, then he's going to start probably looking for that elsewhere, start wanting that elsewhere, because it's a deep longing that men have to feel that sense of deep purpose and value and being utilized. And so that's something you want to look for is, are you giving him that, or are you blocking it? And maybe especially if he wants to pay, are you letting him? Are you saying like, oh, I got this time, babe, and you're bringing out your card and like going through the motions? I wouldn't even do that. Just like sit and smile and be fully receptive to receive. Now, if he asks you and he says something like, babe, I can't afford this right now, or I'm going through a really hard time with my job, like, could you cover this one for us? Then, so there's a slight caveat there. If it feels good to you and everything else is balanced in a relationship where he's mostly giving to you, then yes, okay, occasionally you may be able to cover something if he really is in a tight spot. But then, is he going back into giving to you in other ways and all the other things? And this is just a temporary thing, not a permanent thing. Now, there are situations like that. So I'll give you that caveat. You want to watch out for that, though, because it definitely could be a slippery slope. All right. So Julianne says, I do not want to penetrate anymore. Yes. Stop the penetration, because here's the other thing. If you're constantly penetrating, you can't be penetrated. To put it in those faux modules, like if you're constantly giving, how can a man chase you if you're constantly chasing him? How can a man give to you if you're constantly giving him? If you're penetrating him, how could he penetrate you? How could he really give you the gifts? How could he give you the goods? He can't, because the dynamic's been switched. Now you're like the dominatrix, taking charge and whipping him, whipping him with the whip, kind of like this image we had before. This would be like that image where she's just getting ready to get out the whip and show him who's boss. So hopefully that's not what you want. So we got to stop the madness. All right. I'll answer a couple more here and then we're going to wrap it up for today. Nadia said, my husband's sorry, ex-addicted to porn. He admitted maybe he doesn't know how to love. Okay. All right, here's a question. Angela said, when I try to communicate, he gaslights. He gaslightly. I've never heard that word used as a verb. Or would that be right? An adjective? He gaslightly said he doesn't want to talk about anything. That's not really gaslighting, Angela. Gaslighting is where he's lying to you. He's basically saying like, no, you're the one who's been unfaithful, or you allowed this to happen because you stopped having sex with me, or and that could be true as well. So maybe that's not that's not true, but gaslighting would be more like he's placing the blame on you, or he's making it seem like it's some other issue, like, well, the only reason this happened is because you said that we couldn't go on that vacation. So then what else was I going to do while you were gone? Or when we couldn't hang out on that weekend? Of course I'm going to have sex with somebody else. So he like tries to make it seem like it's your fault. Not that he doesn't want to talk about anything. Now, not wanting to talk about anything, that's different. That's him emotionally shutting down. And that's a different approach. And that doesn't necessarily mean also that he's like a narcissist or a sociopath. That's actually a pretty typical male response, is when a man feels uncomfortable or he's feeling like you're in your masculine energy, he will shut down, or he will not want to engage because he doesn't want to hurt you, or he doesn't want to make it worse. And so, or he feels shame, he feels already disrespected because the fact that he has to have a conversation about it. So you have to approach these things gently, and you have to use feminine communication to be able to open him up in the way that he wants to talk to you, and he feels your heart and he feels the impact. And as long as you're doing these things properly, as long as you're saying, you're using magnetic feminine communication, you're coming from the right place in your heart of like asking for help, essentially. Can I ask if we can talk? Can I share something with you? May I share a feeling I'm having with you? This would be a good way to start the conversation. And if he's denying you every time and saying, no, I don't want to talk, or he's ignoring you, that's a tough situation, because there's not a lot you can do with that. The only thing you can do is basically wait for him to calm down, wait for him to come back to you or to relax a little bit, and then you can try again. And we have in our course, by the way, we have what's called a 7-word relationship revival text message. So if you're in a situation where a man isn't responding to you, or he's ghosted you, then you can use that text message to get him to come back to you and to start a conversation and to want to talk to you. That could help you, and I'd recommend taking our free quiz that'll lead you to that as well, Angela. But yeah, that's a typical male response, especially when a man feels attacked or criticized or blamed or shamed, that he's not going to want to open up. He's not going to want to talk to you. So you have to get vulnerable while still being the queen, because you still have boundaries. You still have standards. But if he's not willing to open up with you over time, unfortunately, you're likely going to have to walk away from a situation like that, because he's probably deeply broken, and or he has no care for your heart, and that's not a good situation for you to stay in a connection with a guy like that, who's not showing care for your heart over time. Assuming you're in your feminine core, you're using what we teach you for feminine polarity and feminine communication. That's the caveat. All right, hope that was helpful, Angela. Connie said, "Oh boy, I'm truly not in my feminine energy. I always give way to much financially and emotionally." Yeah, sorry, Connie. Sorry to hear that. This is Masculine Women Anonymous here today. Masculine Women Anonymous. The first step is admitting that you have a problem. Hi, I am so-and-so, and I've been in my masculine with men, and I no longer want to be that way. So the first step is awareness, admitting it, and realizing what you've been doing is masculine energy. And of course, if you're doing that, you can't expect to have any result different than what you've likely been getting, which is men not really chasing you, not prioritizing you, not desiring you, not emotionally committing, not wanting to even spend time with you, really. So if these things are happening, these are symptoms of the problem. We know what the problem is for the most part. Of course, there's deep trauma and wounds, and there's a lot of women out there who also have narcissistic personality disorder, who have borderline personality disorder, sociopathic tendencies. So there's a lot of broken women out there as well. So I'm not saying that this is the only solution, that masculine feminine polarity is the only cure-all to every problem that you have in your relationship, because there could be some other deep wounds happening. However, and we have solutions for that too. We know how to work around that, which is like our 90-day challenge. However, outside of the deep wounding, what we see is the next biggest problem in relationships is masculine feminine polarity issues. These kind of issues, which generally boil down to being communication issues, not knowing how to communicate from your feminine, and not knowing how to encourage your man to lead, how to encourage him to be in his masculine, how to encourage him to help and provide and give to you, because he should be giving to you financially and emotionally. It doesn't mean you can't ever give to him, like I said, but the overall balance, the weight of the scale should be him primarily in the masculine, primarily giving to you, and you primarily receiving in your feminine. That's your gift, is through the feminine. So hope that helps, Connie, and gives you some more awareness on that as well. And then Julianne said, to you, Connie, hugs, I feel you, learning so much on this channel. Glad you're learning so much, Julianne, and hopefully everybody is, because this is definitely contrary to what we're getting outside of this bubble that we have here and a lot in the culture. But my vision is that this training and these principles and these ideas and these truths are getting out. So speaking of that, share this video with a girlfriend who you think could benefit from at least getting introduced to some of these ideas, who may be struggling in her relationship. Because I want this video to be like a spear penetrating out into the culture from my masculine energy, penetrating out into the culture and spreading, so that we can shift the culture and we can shift the world and shift the planet to have more happy, healthy, loving, committed relationships in the future. Like, don't you want your children to have happy, loving relationships? Don't we want generations down the line to have happy, healthy relationships rather than what we're experiencing in our crooked generation of confusion around gender and around roles and around what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man, how to have a healthy relationship without a 50% plus divorce rate, healthy marriages, biblical marriages even, without the divorce rates, without the addictions, without the wounding, without the chaos that we're seeing. We want to shift this. So let's get it out there. And I also want to raise up you to be a leader in this, to be not a leader, but an inspiration for other women in your world by taking this on, by connecting to your feminine core. And women will just start to wonder, men and women around you will start to look at you and be like, wow, she has something different. There's something going on there. She's different than even how she was last week. I don't know what it is, but I want to be around her more. I want to learn from her. I want to ask her what's going on. Like, what are you taking? What are you taking? That's what I want. That's my vision for you, is that people around you in your life are being inspired by your light, your feminine light. You're like the sun to the planets. You are the fire to the moths. You are the rose to the honeybees. You are radiating outwards like the lighthouse, shining out and being a guiding light for people in your life. Because once you have made those shifts, that's what you will become. And I want to raise up more women like that as well. Put them like the city on the hill to be seen by all of what's possible in healthy love. And I hope that me and my wife and our teachings are an example for that as well, and an inspiration to you of what's possible. And someone else said to Julie, Connie was getting back to Julie. Yes, you can turn yourself around, Connie. It's not turning yourself around. I also wouldn't think about this as turning yourself around. What's happening is you're actually getting back to who you really are. You have a feminine core deep inside from the moment you were born. God designed you. He stitched you together in the womb with a feminine core. And what we're doing here, we're helping you reconnect to that. We're bringing you back to that, to be that woman you always were and you were always meant to be, before all the wounding, before the trauma, before the culture came in and seeped in and told you to be something that you're not, and to try to influence you to get you away from that. Because ultimately that's what Satan wants. Satan wants to detach you from the way God designed you. Satan wants to have his way. He wants to make you in his image. And we don't want that. We want to stop that. We want to bring you back to how God made you and be that light, be in your feminine core. So it's a healthy way to think about this, is you're not changing who you are. You're coming back to who you are. All right. So Jan said, welcome. Hello from Pensacola. Welcome, Jan. Great to have you here. And let's see. Jan said, no chasing. Yes, no chasing. Let's stop. No more penetration. Let's stop. Stop the madness. And then this is the last share we'll have for tonight. We'll wrap it up. Julianne said, tell your wife thank you for her recent video, by the way. It hit something deep inside of me and felt like she was telling my story. Give up the hope. Very inspiring. That's great you said that, Julianne, because we've been having a lot of great feedback actually on that video that she put out. She's going to be making some more videos, because I've been making most of the videos the last couple of years, really. But she'll be putting out more videos. And that's a very powerful principle. I think that's why it's resonating with women so much, especially if you have an anxious attachment. The idea of letting the hope die, the hope that you have for him changing, for him becoming some fantasy of what you want, and just letting that die. It doesn't mean that you're dying. It means the fantasy is dying. The fantasy is dying so that you can be reborn, that you can be afresh, you can be authentic in your reality of what you're creating with a man. Having an authentically true, committed relationship that's not based on falsehoods and what's not actually true. So yes, it's a powerful video. Would recommend others watching it as well. I can't, let me see if I can remember. I can't grab the name of the video off the top of my head right now. It's one of our newer videos, so you can go to our channel and find it with Antia. But definitely check it out. It's very, very valuable as well. So Hope this was helpful tonight. I enjoyed the show. Glad everyone could hop on today. By the way, I'm going to start making these shows more regular because I prefer making content in the form of a show. And I visualize this becoming more of like a talk show with guests, with content, with reaction videos, with new ideas, and these discussions. I like the connection here. So please come back for future videos, share your thoughts, share your comments. I like this interaction. I want to know how this is being received by you, because again, as a masculine connected man, more connected to my masculine, I get my sense of purpose by knowing I'm being received by my wife, by my family, but also by the world. I want to know that these gifts are landing and how we can improve them so that I can help you get a happy life, make you happier in your romance, in your world. And so we create a better place for everyone, but not just you and your immediate family, but my goal is for generations down the line. Like, let's shift generations through this work. Let's change the culture, and then thereby by changing the culture, change the world, change the generations, and make the biggest impact. So yes, I'm glad this is helping you. All right, so hopefully you'll be on the next one. And then just to wrap up, if you haven't yet, highly recommend taking the free quiz. That's where you can get more access to our world, learn about our coaching communities, learn about deeper work that we have, potentially one-on-one coaching if you want that, and just more advanced principles on feminine polarity, feminine communication. We'll lay it out for you, and we'll coach you personally to help you get this all customized for yourself in your specific situation to get the relationship you want with a man you actually want and you desire in your life. So click on the link below or go to magnetizeyourman.com to get that. You also get on our emails list as well when you do that. So hope this was helpful. Much love. Take care. And I look forward to talking to you again very soon. Bye-bye.